Survivor Ghost Island Castaway Chris Noble. On his exit I felt burned. Sometime within the past year, a Survivor producer dug up the Immunity Idol J.T. Thomas, neglected, left behind, buried somewhere near Nuku beach. Overconfidence and a false sense of security were what caused the previous unanimously voted winner to be voted out of Survivor, Game Changers. The producer transplanted J.T.'s unplayed cursed idol to Ghost Island, and production waited for it to mature. Fast forward 2 seasons. Related, Survivor, Ghost Island Castaway Bradley Kleihege on his ousting. It was pretty close to a complete Blindside suave male model. Chris Noble aka The Noble once scored a clue during the merge feast of season 36. He would stealthily creep out of camp at night, catch a boat over to Ghost Island, and obtain the refurbished trailer that JT regretfully abandoned. Its power had diminished, however, after losing his vote at the next tribal council. Chris only had 2 tribals that the idol held any power to save him. The amateur rapper wisely professed, JT definitely got a little cocky. I don't want to be the guy that gets sent home who has an idol and didn't use it. So I definitely plan on reversing the curse. I will have it in my pocket, and ready to rock. Related, Survivor, Ghost Island Castaway James Lim on his betrayal. That moment will never be forgotten. We didn't ask Chris which was the bad decision he made that will haunt him forever. The answer's too obvious. It would have been extremely beneficiary for him to play his idol. That would have been clutch. That was your one and only tribal council, and you set a record of being the only person to be voted out of Survivor without ever casting a vote. How burned did you feel? How burned did I feel by the torch that got taken out, or by the people? I felt burned. I felt more so burned by some of my key alliances or people that I thought I had a good connection with, regardless if there were times during the game that we weren't on the same tribe. Mainly Sebastian and Donathan. We shared some very powerful moments, and those powerful moments weren't powerful enough to save me from a blindside. Walk us through what was going through your head as Jeff was reading the votes. They got me. I risked it, and I was playing with house money, and I went all in with that, and instead I got sent home. I was not regretting my decision. I had to risk it if I wanted to make it to the end, and I came there to win. I didn't come there to make it another episode into the game. What were the biggest self-discoveries you took away from your time on Survivor? Some of my biggest self-discoveries: 1. How much of a warrior my mom is. The respect I have for her and what she goes through day in and day out. I mean, I've had to take care of her. I've seen her laying in the hospital for days on end. I had to feed her medication. I've had to carry her to the bathroom, all of this as a young adult, child. And to then go out on Survivor and be starving and be just in a miserable state, and to be able to remain positive just reinforced to me how great, beautiful and strong my mom is. She goes through this every day and probably even worse, and still puts a smile on her face, and I just love my mom more to death after going through that experience. And 2, I also learned how to be proud for myself, and not to let people who might not like the light shining on someone gifted with some ability, to actually admit that I have good ability. I'm proud of it, and I'm not going to dumb myself down or dim my light just to make others feel comfortable. It was one of the first times in that moment that I could actually acknowledge to myself that I'm proud of myself and that I'm going to do what I need to do regardless of how people necessarily feel about me. Has this experience matured you at all? Absolutely. I think anytime you go through something like this, not just in Survivor, in life, this pushes you to the brink. It makes you find out who you are and what matters most. I've definitely grown. I realize how much more I appreciate the people who are close to me and family, friends. How important it is to have a small but close circle around you to protect you, and I cherish that. I cherish those relationships a whole lot more than I did before. Being a personal trainer, how should you have trained for Survivor differently? As a personal trainer, I actually trained about the best I could for it. We only had about a month